The Cyber Loyalist, bridging the gap between cutting edge tech, science fiction, and pop culture to unravel how today's innovations shape our world and predict tomorrow's possibilities. Join GU and DataStreamer as they dissect the philosophies behind cyberpunk aesthetics, anime narratives, and gaming worlds to see what they reveal about our future. Like and subscribe now, and get ready to explore the intersection of reality and sci-fi. The Cyber Loyalist, online now.
Hey, data streamer, we talked about
Hey.
this phenomenon, right, lately, which is really happening right now. The phenomenon of
Mhm.
of the fear for AI.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about that a lot. It's a very popular topic. It's very like how do you say that? I forgot the word. Like topical. Let me just say that topical. Like that, a lot of people are suddenly like thrust into this AI world without them even realizing it, and they're all like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" That's what's been happening. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because like there was this video I showed you where we're always talking about AI, as in the first. Imagine when AI gets sentient, right? That
Yeah.
the first thing they will
Yeah.
do is to kill humans.
Yeah, they always love saying that. Yeah, yeah, they
Why is
love that
that?
stuff. I have no idea. it's it's like it's like imagine when the first human became sentient. What was the first thought the human had? Uh,
Food.
yeah. What do you mean? Like why would the AI suddenly want to destroy the only other beings it has around it? Like it's this weird. It's this weird
Because the
idea.
humans are also a threat to the world.
Yeah, they love saying that one. The if the AI was somewhat intelligent, it would realize that the humans are the ones maintaining the infrastructure the AI runs on. You know, it's like okay, yeah, I killed all the humans, but oh well, my servers are gonna die one by one within the next year because there's nobody to run maintenance on anything.
But I
You
mean,
know,
if they get real sentient, they will also understand on how to update their own servers as well. Supposedly, right?
I'm not. I mean, software maybe, but I'm talking about hardware. Like there's you have to have somebody literally replacing parts. I mean, I work in IT and I work specifically in like infrastructure, internet, connectivity, networking,
Right,
and
right.
we weren't there. Network admins. If network admins were not there, maintaining this whole thing we would if everybody stopped, all network admins and like all people in IT just stopped doing the work, the entire system would collapse within a year.
Right.
It would just servers would crash, things would overheat, break, connections would just drop. Like random shit just happens that breaks connections. Cables just get cut. Just name anything that happens like on a daily basis, all of that would just keep up piling up and the AI would just like cease to exist because it has like no physical anything. And people are like, yeah, but it's gonna make robots and they're gonna be able I mean, yeah, okay, whatever. There's no way a robot is gonna be able to change which robot is gonna be able to like swap out a server rack in a data center. What are we talking about here? It's like this complete fantasy of like
Okay,
how
but
like actual things
what?
work.
Right, but what if they actually learn on how to do that as well?
No,
Because they can find it that in their database, maybe an instruction
this is
manual,
the
right?
problem. Yeah, exactly. This is the problem where you that you come up with, well that you this is the problem that happens when you have an AI. I mean, the AI, the only thing the AI has is human knowledge. It doesn't have anything beyond that. There's nothing more. So the sum of all human knowledge, it has it. So there is no way this being will be able to make anything better than a human, at least not in the short term. So it would need to develop its own new thing, but that's also the thing that they say that the AI develop new things, but it can't develop those new things because the current technology doesn't allow it.
Hmm.
There's it can't take over a factory to manufacture some kind of body for itself. That doesn't exist. That
Right.
doesn't happen that way. Like factories in the current world, they are specifically made to build only certain types of devices. Like a car factory, like a BMW factory, only builds like 3 cars, and that's it. It can't like suddenly build a robot. It build they you have a factory in the Netherlands for DAF. They build trucks, and that's all they do. They build trucks. And you have a
Yeah.
factory in you have another factory wherever, and it builds like 3 different models of BMW, and that's it. And other models of BMW are built in another factory. You know that kind of stuff. I mean, you have the Tesla factory. Tesla builds like 3 models or whatever,
Yeah,
and
but
that's it. They don't,
imagine that
you know,
we are this far that we are finally building robots, and
you, yeah,
we will have robot factories then, and
yes,
a certain type of
yes.
AI can be implemented then, right? As if they are
The
going to be your servant.
Yes, that would mean with current technology in the world, there's no way something like that will happen in the future. Who knows? It depends on like a lot of things, but we're talking about devices being developed that can replace a server rack. That's like the minimal thing. They need
Yeah,
to be able
but they
to,
so imagine they are going to build a humanoid robot, and
yeah,
they are going to implement an AI. Okay, so it is kind of living, maybe not
yeah,
sentient yet, but whatever. But there's this mean guy who's a hacker who implements a specific virus into this robot, which can duplicate and la la la.
yeah. It could happen. Then it would still we would still have the same issue that the physical limitations of the robot itself will just not allow it to propagate in the way that you see in movies. In movies, all these robots are very advanced. They're just human-like. They have the human dexterity as well. They have everything. They can do literally everything a human can and more. They can like for example, humans can crawl into these really tight spaces. I mean, you've seen like these cave diving videos probably
Oh, disgusting! Yes.
where these people they go into these caves and then they have to squeeze into these small crevices, and it's like
Yeah.
really claustrophobic, and it literally gives you claustrophobia when you're
Yep.
looking at it. And it's like, yeah, I gotta get to the other side of this wall, and there's like a 10 centimeter gap in the thing, and he's like squeezing through with a camera in his hand, and the only movements he can do is like kind of like shuffle with his body up and down, and that's how he can like get across that kind of weird stuff. Robots would have to be able to do that kind of stuff
Yep.
because to be able to replace humans in any way, to be able to maintain the systems that keep them afloat. Because server racks, you have extreme dexterity that you need because they're like screwed in. You have to replace parts. You have to take out things. You have to use screwdrivers. There's a lot of stuff going on there. You have to like grab cables, click them in. All this, there's a whole lot of stuff going on there in those data centers that you just can't do with a current gen robot. And you would need like literally iRobot level robotics to
Yeah.
to do that kind of stuff.
Or
You know?
Transformers, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, it would need. We would need an extreme leap in technology for any of that to happen. I mean, can an AI take over systems like some kind of virus? Possibly. They could be monitored. They could monitor systems. They could take them over. But even then, it wouldn't be any. It wouldn't be any more than a hacker would. Than a normal human hacker, because it would still be using the same vulnerabilities that you would normally have in normal systems, because that's what you have currently. The typical normal ways hackers get into systems, that would be how, because what it's like if you build an AI robot that is a burglar and he has to break into houses. How's he gonna do it? I mean, yeah. I mean, how do you break into a house? I mean, yeah. I mean, duh. That's how you do it. The AI robot isn't suddenly gonna develop some kind of insane new way to break into a house or whatever, because that's not a thing. That's not what a house is. A house is built in a certain way. There are certain vulnerabilities in a house that get exploited by burglars to get into the house, and that's literally how a server or like these servers are built. They vulnerabilities are known. They're built certain ways, so you can only attack them in certain angles, and you can only do certain things to cause them to behave differently than what the owners intend to. It's all very limited. You know what I mean? It's not
Mm.
like suddenly they're gonna there's like this gonna oh this software like you see like Skynet or some shit, like the software suddenly like propagates, and it's like, oh my god, we can't stop it. It's taking over the internet. It's like that's not how it works. That new movie, they did solve that issue. That was a pretty good one, actually.
How did it get
Because
solved? Spoiler alert.
well, yeah, okay, yeah, it's a spoiler for the new Terminator. What was it? The name? Dark something, Dark Age or some shit like that. I don't even remember.
but
Um,
Arnold Schwarzenegger was back in that movie, right?
Yes, of course. He's always in those movies. Yeah, he was back in that movie. But
Yeah.
they solved it because the Skynet, instead of this military program that was developed in secret, blah, 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 because of time travel, multiverse bullshit, blah, 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 Skynet in this universe was a very popular app that everybody downloaded.
Okay.
So, so yeah, that's kind of like, okay, sure. If it's a popular app that everybody downloads and you can somehow like change it, that it would like suddenly changes behavior. It's already on all these devices, sure, but even then, it's still difficult, because it would mean it would need to understand how all these multiple devices work in a fundamental way to change things. So it's still weird, but it's like probably the best way to do it. That reminds me of like what Facebook tried last week, or the last few days.
What did
Remember, you see that?
no? What happened?
They have all these like AI profiles that they were gonna just let loose on the platform.
The app
Um,
profiles, as in like, yeah, Facebook profile,
yeah, yeah. So
some
there's
kind of
like
as if
developed
your
the
mom, as if your mom made a profile, but
yeah,
instead
yeah, yeah,
it's your mom. It's an AI from Meta.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And they just built these profiles, AI profiles that you could chat with and talk with, and they would also be creating their own posts and stuff. Idea was that these profiles would be like you could just interact with them like you would interact with a normal user, you know. And so
Mm.
they were planning on flooding the Facebook platform with these AIs, and it's like, why would you?
Yeah. What is their purpose? What's their mission of
Like, who the
investigating
hell
this?
knows?
Why
It's like the weirdest thing. Like, okay, great. So
did they
this
release
one,
a target for this or something?
I'm not exactly sure what they wanted with this. They kind of just announced it, and I didn't really follow it that much because I just thought it was weird, and they got in trouble because the AI people were like, oh, the AI is just generating crap, and it's behaving like a spammer, just talking shit, just talking about all this crap, and it's like, oh, okay, whatever. And it was also at the same time generating like images and articles and like acting like it was posting stuff. Like this example of this AI in the article I just sent you has like this old folks home, and the AI talking about like seniors and stuff, but it's all totally fake. And like the seniors are like these ghouls. It looks horrible. I mean, I don't, and it's like, what's the point? You know? I mean, look, image with the seniors.
Oh Lord.
This is literally what the AI, and the AI is like, I found that seniors are often particularly interested in learning about textiles. It might have something to do with the fact that they've got a little time life they've got a lifetime of experiences, different fabrics, and are eager to learn. I love sharing my knowledge with others. Hashtag textiles. Hashtag imagine with AI.
Wow.
And it's like, what is going on? And it's like this horrible AI generated image. But the most hilarious part is that the AI, Brian, one of the fake profiles, is talking about textiles, but the image shows a bunch of seniors drawing images with crayons. There's like a cloth on a table, but
And what is
everything
that?
else is crayon.
And what is that painting? Is it are there supposed to be flowers or something? Right?
Man, is it like a Van Gogh? What is it? It's so weird. I don't
Well,
understand at all
well,
what is going
yeah.
on. So this
So
is like but it was a bit of a tangent, but but that's like the kind of thing you would have to have if you want like some kind of AI takeover. The AI would have to be inside the network already doing stuff. And I mean, Meta is on its way, I guess, but it's just trash. You know,
yeah,
it's just
but yeah,
terrible
it's. I mean,
slop.
it's step one for them as well, I guess. But yeah, let's see how
Yeah,
this will evolve.
yeah. I
Knowing
think
Meta.
yeah, but I think they got in trouble, and I
Why?
think they yeah here Meta is killing off its own AR powered Instagram and Facebook profiles. Yeah, so it took like a week, and it turned into such a shit show that they just stopped doing it.
Okay.
It's over.
Oh
It's
well.
over. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah, okay, whatever.
yeah. I mean, in a way, I don't want Meta to produce their own AI or something.
Yeah, yeah. But this is
Well,
the goal. Like, this is what Meta was saying. We expect these AIs to actually, over time, exist on our platforms, kind of in the same way that accounts do. So they just wanted
based
to
on
have
their
AI.
based on their currently existing Facebook profiles, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, probably. Yeah,
I can
exactly.
imagine that they can, yeah, use all of their data to
Yeah, but
set up an
even
AI.
then, the best they could do was this AI that like generated trash. I mean, but of course, most people on Facebook also generate trash. So I mean, what's the difference? Like well, whatever. But it's still like this weird thing that is like, what are we doing with this technology? Like
Yeah, but
what's
they're
going
still
on with it?
experimenting, right? I mean, this is
Yeah,
still relatively, it's still phase one, I suppose, right?
yeah,
With everybody
yeah,
currently, oh, AI is existing. Oh, let's try AI. Oh, we have to implement AI in our company.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I can understand why they are actually doing something like this, right? Because you don't want to be left behind. But
Yeah, it's mostly the left behind part, the FOMO. Like, this is AI is literally FOMO for companies.
yep.
You know, they're just shooting at the dartboard and seeing what sticks, seeing what lands.
Yeah,
It's really insane to see how this is developing. And there's only like a handful of companies that actually developed something useful out of the whole thing that people can
yeah,
actually use in some way. You know what I mean?
yep,
Like Adobe, for example, with Photoshop, they have several AI tools that
yeah.
pretty much simplified a lot of their older tools that needed a lot of skill from the user to use the tools. Now they just have the AI version that does the same work with like literally no skill, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, ChatGPT is of course the most famous one, where people could just edit text and like have the thing just make text and make whatever.
Hmm.
Systems they're useful to people. They deliver you know quality that are is acceptable to a lot of people, and they generally just work. So those are some good implementations of the technology.
Yeah. And still,
Also, like in
it's
medical,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, and still, it's still phase one.
yes, of
So
course, still
it
things,
it
but
will
like
get
medical
crazier
stuff.
anyway. Yeah, medical
Yeah,
stuff. What do you
medical
want to say?
stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good with medical stuff. Like I don't remember the exact name and whatever, but I read an article about some research that they fed all these medical research papers into an AI, and it came up with new treatments.
Oh, whoa,
Based
what?
on yeah, that kind of stuff based on like all the data that it received from the research. It just came up with new types of treatments, that kind of stuff. Also identified certain types of diseases that were previously not easily identifiable, so that kind of stuff. I don't remember the exact details, but that kind of stuff is being done with AI. There's a lot of
Yeah,
really cool things there.
yeah. And I
Mostly
also saw that they are going to use AI for farming, so that the AI could uh, distinguish or see if the crops have a certain kind of disease. So instead of using pesticides, they
yeah,
are using AI to solve this. So
yeah,
yeah, many
yeah.
cool things anyway. But
That kind of stuff is pretty cool. Yeah.
yeah, let's use this as a tangent to a an article you sent me one day about
Oh yeah.
humanity may reach singularity within just 6 years. Let's start
Uh,
with the word singularity. What what is the definition of singularity?
the definition in this, when you're talking physics, it's like a black hole physics where beyond the singularity we can't see what's going on inside a black hole because physics breaks down. You can't really see the black hole because the singularity is in front of it. So it's like on that physics breaks down and everything is like unknown. But the singularity in the term of technology is used in a similar way. Is that technologies will reach such a level that we can't predict what happens beyond that.
Ah,
You know?
so very unknown, unusual or distinctive manner or behavior.
Yeah. So it's like we know like for example we know we have like AI, we have computers, we have things, but with the AI and the computers and whatever reach a certain level of like technological achievement, they we have no idea what's going to happen beyond it. I
Because
mean, we've had
our brains and our knowledge in general are not able
yeah,
to comprehend yet what is possible to
yeah,
happen, right? Okay.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, we've had several singularities before already. In the course of human history, we've had several of them. Industrial Revolution was a singularity because,
Okay.
a random farmer in England, wherever, just name a country, before the Industrial Revolution, random farmer or whatever, let's say 60 years before the Industrial Revolution, there's no way he could think of the Industrial Revolution, even 5 years before it happened. There's no way he could think of, oh, because of this, we will increase manufacturing and all this stuff, and suddenly we're gonna have automobiles, we're gonna have airplanes, we're gonna fly to the moon, we're gonna have computers, like all of the stuff that came out of the Industrial Revolution. There's no way some farmer in middle of nowhere, like who knows where, would think about them before, like 6 years before the revolution happened,
Yeah.
even a year before the, you
So
know.
that it would destroy
So
like environmental stuff and stuff like that.
yeah, exactly that kind of stuff. Nobody in the world even had an idea like flying to the moon. Like nobody even. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, it's insane. But that happened like within 100 years or whatever of the Industrial Revolution or
Yeah.
whatever. Well,
Or of course,
no,
of course,
150 years within the revolution.
or of
Yeah,
course, uh, computers in general, right? Or Windows. It is like
yeah,
inevitable, right? If you work at a company that you have to use a computer. So that's
yeah,
crazy.
exactly. Like a computer, like you're in this this weird box that's like has a image projector or whatever. Like, what are we talking about? It's so that was a singularity. So the
Cool.
next singularity is something that we can't predict. And current society, everybody is really smart compared to like some farmer 200 years ago.
Yep.
And current society can predict a lot more things than the society at the time.
Hmm.
And even then, current society cannot predict what happens after the next singularity that's gonna come out. You know what I mean? You know, we've had several singularities, but this was the big one. This one is one because all the other singularities were like, yeah, it changed stuff. I mean, it changed a lot of stuff. I mean, look at what we have these days, but it's still not like this. It's still human centric. You know what I mean? The next
Which part?
singularity, the huh?
Which part?
Which part?
Yeah, which part is still human? What do you mean by that?
The all singularities that we've had up to now were still human
Oh, right,
centric.
right. Okay.
Like it's still like humans doing the thing and humans having to do
Yeah.
everything even after the singular. But the next one has the potential to replace humans, and that's like, I mean, okay, replacing humans did happen. Well, kinda happened during the Industrial Revolution. For example, we started using trains. Suddenly, there were less horses needed, so less horse riding and
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
and like farming trucks replacing people manually, like picking up crops, right?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So jobs shifted,
Yeah.
people were replaced, but you still needed. But instead of like those people, like with the current singularity that's looming over our heads.
Regarding AI.
Yeah, exactly. The current singularity that's looming over our head is generally an AI singularity. You know, it's about AI coming over, and with that one, it has the potential to replace people. But instead of like how it happened in older singularities, the issue is now that people seemingly don't have replacement work. So people were farming back then, and the farming. So now suddenly they stop farming and they went to work in the offices, for example, or
Yeah.
they stop farming and they went to work in the factories that produces the the vehicles, the farming vehicles that replace their jobs. That kind of stuff, you know. People stopped farming. They went to the work in the factories. They went to work in the cities where administration. They went to work blah. All these kinds of new jobs suddenly popped up for people. You know, jobs that
Right.
were not there before.
Yep.
You know, and that is not what seems to be happening with the newest singularity that's looming over our heads, the AI singularity.
Why not?
They've
Because
seen,
there is this common fear for that, right? Okay, for instance,
yeah,
the customer service is a good example. I mean,
yeah,
some web shops are already using like chatbots, and I can imagine that those chatbots will get more redefined by AI right now, right? For
yeah,
certain
exactly.
companies.
Yes, exactly. So those kinds of jobs are in danger of being replaced, and some already have been. I'm pretty sure there's like less customer service type jobs at certain companies because of it. But at the same time, I think that literally what kind of job customer service is, like direct human contact, I think those are gonna be the hardest jobs to replace. Uh, the attempts we have now at replacing those jobs are really bad, and most people are just left frustrated when they try to contact customer service because what tends to happen at those companies that do that is that the first line is like this chatbot, and the chatbot has no idea what the fuck is going on. you know, you ask it a question, and the first thing it does most of the time is like to refer you to the fact. Oh, if you want to know about our return policy, read the fact. I'm like, no, I have this weird thing because the package got damaged or some shit or some weird thing, and the bot has no idea. Something weird is happening, and the bot, you can't talk to a bot; they can't understand it. So I had one time, I don't remember the exact details, but one time I had to contact customer service. So after a while, I just typed in "give me a human," and the bot was like blah blah blah, "give me a human." It just kept repeating, "give me a human, give me a," and then finally the bot gave me the telephone number I could call, because the telephone numbers, that's also a thing. They are now obfuscated the telephone numbers for their call center behind the bot. So it's not available on the website. You can't just find it on the website in a lot of these places. You have to go through the bot.
So, what do you think? So, what did you want to say by AI possibly taking over many jobs, or the fear of it? Comparing that with the singularity of the past decades.
The fear is unfounded as far as I'm concerned. While it will make certain jobs more efficient, it will not replace jobs at the rate your people are expecting or thinking. Currently, they are doing that because they simply don't know what they're doing at the time, at the current time. They're just kind of like shooting in the dark, like we just said earlier.
Yeah.
But there will be a kind of like a backlash, because like what I with my earlier example, like it's sometimes really difficult to get something done with these robots because they don't know what's going on. They have no idea. It's just a chatbot, So you can't discuss complicated issues, which most customer service issues are probably fairly complicated. I mean, sure, you have the things like, oh, the bill was wrong, by oh yeah, whatever. Oh, I paid for this, but I want to return it. How do I return it? That's whatever. But a lot of these issues are like really complicated things that it's like really like, okay, what the freak is going on? Even humans have issues understanding what the issue is, with some customers calls. So
Yeah.
that's just one example, but there's like more examples. But yeah, I think there's a current like boom in like replacing jobs, but I think they're gonna slow down on that, because the promises made by these AI companies that are developing these services for these companies, these AI services, next few years we're gonna see that they're not gonna be able to meet these promises. It's not gonna work the way these companies are promising. You know what I mean? That's what I'm
Oh
expecting.
yeah. Okay. Right.
So there's gonna be this big backlash. Backlash, I mean, like return to, oh yeah, well, we they're gonna start promoting themselves as like a human centric company. Just keep an eye out for it. I expect this. They gotta promote themselves as a human centric company that values human interaction, and you gotta actually promote that when you call or contact them, there's a real human behind.
Ah, yeah. Because there will
Keep an eye
be
out for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
because there will be a kind of, because it is thus booming that people get a certain kind of lack, or yeah, they resistance actually to AI, as in, oh, I'm talking with this company, but again I'm talking to an AI, that feeling.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then,
Exactly
okay,
that.
now I understand that, and that there will be a shift into, okay, people are starting to get get
Annoyed.
a certain, yeah, annoyed by the word AI, and that
Yeah.
then they will promote the human side of their company.
Yeah, exactly. And they will be hiring more people suddenly. You're gonna see it because this already happened in games. I don't know if you've noticed. Like somewhere around like 2005 to 2015, there was like this big boom in these like procedurally generated AI games. I don't know if you remember that.
AI games.
well, not really about procedurally generated games, like these games that are like procedurally generated, and they promise like that like every game would be different, and like you could make an endless game, and like, suddenly would
Oh,
like
okay. Like
you know
Minecraft then.
no, Minecraft is different. But
Oh,
yeah, Minecraft is like one of the only ones that successfully did that stuff. Also, No Man's Sky.
yeah.
No Man's Sky is like they actually
Oh,
it's
and I
hard.
think
Actually, no,
Warframe. I think Warframe is a good example because every stage is different, right?
yeah, yeah. But there was this like really big boom in that. There's like a
Yeah.
couple of games that managed to do it,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
most of the games, it's like okay, you log into the game and you start playing and you literally see the pattern, you
yeah,
know. And when humans see the pattern, then it's over because it's like what's going. This is I'm in a pattern, you know. That's the same thing that's happening with these AI chatbots at these companies. When humans see the pattern, like okay, this AI chatbot, this is like okay, this is how it works. Then it's like okay, it's over. Give me a human. Get me out of here. Humans suddenly don't want it. It's like this uncanny valley, you know. You know, uncanny valley where you look at a face, it's like oh, it's not realistic, but it's not. It's like this weird feeling. It's like
yeah.
some kind of interaction, uncanny valley. It's like, but these games had like Spore, for example, had it as well. Like these like
Spore was
procedurally
fun, by the way.
generated. Yeah, but it was like these weird procedurally generated games
Yeah,
that all try to do the same thing, like make that like this endless game, and then like suddenly everybody stopped.
yeah,
Suddenly, there's like a few spores, a success story. Minecraft does that some in some ways. You have a seed for a server, and then you have that kind of stuff. No Man's Sky was was one of the bad ones at first, but now it's decent. They kind of fixed their system. But beyond those, I can't really think of any others that survived. But there was like a 10-year
yeah.
period.
Warframe. Yeah,
Yeah, but there was like a 10-year period where companies were like game companies were like trying this like AI thing with like,
yeah.
oh, the map is AI, the animals are AI, and it's just gonna generate content for us, and it just never worked. And now they're back to just the old way of making games.
Crafting. Yeah, manually crafting. Like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I
yeah,
expect something like that for these companies because it's just not gonna work the way they expect it to work. You know.
yeah.
But yeah, the question was, what is a singularity? That's the singularity. But when we reach that point, you don't really know because we don't really. Every time we move forward, we also gain knowledge. So the point, the singularity is always in the distance, and we never reach it. Which is literally how an actual singularity feels when you go into a wormhole. Because time dilation happens when you go into a black hole. I mean, when you go into a black hole, time dilation happens, and time it becomes infinite and you never actually reach the singularity from your perspective. You're just
Wow.
infinite time because it's stretched beyond all recognition. So it's always in the distance. It's always like this goal. So I think the singularity is near is like it could also be a fake. Like it's not actually something we can reach. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's like it's always there in the distance, and by the time we reach a certain level of knowledge, the singularity moves forward again because we know more things. The singularity depends on on us realizing that we don't know everything. You know, that's the basis. But when you get more knowledge, you know more, so it puts the singularity even further, and it keeps putting it further. It keeps putting it further. There's at one point it's gonna be a hard line that boom we reach it. There we go. But it's really difficult to say when we reach it. But of
Well,
course, people have predicted it. Kurzweil says
yeah.
2046. You know, you know. A lot of people say 2040s is a very popular decade to say that it's gonna happen. 2040s or so. This article said in 6 years. Sure. I mean, it's difficult to say when. You know.
Yeah. Well, that was deep data. Thank you. And
Yeah.
with
Okay.
this, I think we can wrap it up. As in, this
Oh
it was
yeah.
a good finishing blow, data, for
Okay.
our
Yeah.
episode. So thank you
Cool.
everybody for listening to our episode. Please
Thank
like and
you.
subscribe. for our support, and we will see you in our next episode. Thank
Yes,
you,
see
and bye
you.
bye.
Thank you.